This one's for James Comey, Mr. Comey.
Fuck you, bad.
I only lied once, maybe twice. Remember that part? I only dropped you once, maybe twice. Yeah. I only obstructed myself maybe once or 200 times. And I'll never forget. I will never forget. Never forget. Never forget that Mr. Comey was the DA, I believe, at the time when Martin Armstrong got illegally locked up. Remember, he had that economic model system that very accurately predicted the way markets would move, and allegedly the club wanted it, and he said, F off, it's mine, no. So they went after him. Trumped up some charges, told him, we'll keep you here, for years and years to come fighting this, whatever, we'll keep you locked up the whole time, unless you admit that you worked with this other guy and did some kind of, illegal activity. He said, I was already in jail for, 8 years or whatever it was. I could do 2 more years and get out if I agreed. So what do you think I did? Very interesting that it was James Comey that was partially responsible for his illegal incarceration. You know who? Martin Armstrong. So from the Hill, excuse me. Matter of fact, let me mute that little thing. It says, James Comey is in trouble and he knows it. By Kevin R. Brock, opinion contributor. Now, who is Kevin R. Brock? Just some jabroni writing an article? Or is this guy, got a little pull, got a little background? Kevin R. Brock, former assistant director of intelligence for the FBI, was an FBI special agent for how long? 24 years. And principal deputy director of the National Counterterrorism Center. He is a founder and principal of New Street Global Solutions, which consults with private companies and public safety agencies on strategic mission technologies. So he wrote this article. James Comey's planet is getting noticeably warmer. Attorney General William Barr's emissions are the suspected cause. Barr has made plain that he intends to examine carefully how and why Comey, as FBI director, decided that the Bureau should investigate 2 presidential campaigns and if, in doing so, any rules or laws were broken. In light of this, the fired former FBI director apparently has decided that photos of him on Twitter standing amid tall trees and in the middle of empty country roads, acting all metaphysical, is no longer a sufficient strategy. No, Comey has realized, probably a little too late, that he has to try to counter, more directly, the narrative being set by the unsparing Attorney General, whose words in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee last week landed in the Trump opposition world like holy water on Linda Blair. Shrieking heads haven't stopped spinning since. And that would be the liberal leftists and their lamestream media. And I think I've got to do a video. Got to do a video of Brian Stelter. I always think of Mark Dice every time. Oh, it's CNN. They're not letting people go. They're offering them severance packages and voluntary packages to go ahead and quit. No, Mr. Stelter. Your news organization is an effing fraud. And you know this, and you knowingly work there and pump the fraudulent crap that they give you. And now it's imploding. It's getting the worst ratings it has ever had its entire existence. Ted Turner, the guy founder of CNN, buying up all the damn land everywhere out in the middle of the world, the country. I always thought, well, was he a good guy? Like, is he, because because I don't think he's dead, is he? I think he's alive. So he can't be rolling over in his grave about this, about his former company that he created to greatness, which has pretty much became a piece of garbage. But you got to look back at history, and when you do that, you'll start to notice, well, CNN and the others have kind of been always giving you fake news, towing a fake line. Remember the guy, I don't know their names now, from the early 90s, Desert Storm, they had the guy, oh, sirens are going off, oh. They're faking everything over the Middle East. They had these little palm trees swaying in the wind. Like, the whole stage was like, it was a stage setup, completely fake. And then the guy's talking after the cameras are off, at least the live stream. And, he's laughing and giggling about this fake little rocket he had in his hand and all this. They've been faking it for so long. So has Ted Turner, in fact, been the father of this company that he knew from day one was a piece of garbage? Or did he sell out and say, yeah, I'm out of here, and then when they got taken over, now we're going to go ahead and turn this into a piece of garbage? Just like when they had to come in and take YouTube over, anything that was, they realized, oh, a lot of people are going to watch this stuff, we got to take control of it. Google offers YouTube an enormous amount of money after only being about a year old. Billions of dollars, or not say billions, I think it was $600 or $800 million for like a 1-year-old company that was just starting out, right? They saw YouTube is the platform for people to put information out there, and they've got to control it all. So they make an outrageous bid to buy the thing. And of course, who could turn that down? Oh, we're only a year old, I'll take that. And now we see what YouTube's become. $70 billion loss. Google, Alphabet, YouTube. That's another video I need to do. After their algorithm change. No more recommended JSNP, no more recommended anybody. Except fake news. That's what you get recommended. You search for something, fake news comes up. Their numbers are worse than terrible. So the CEO, oh, well, we're going to change the algorithm again. We're going to, oh, that pocketbook. You could deal with a few of us conspiracy tards. Oh, let's screw those guys. Who cares if they make any money? But when your whole platform is sinking, like the Titanic, oh, well, maybe we'll have to put it back, I only shadow banned you once. Maybe twice. You've been bad, Susan. Anyways, let's get on with the article. That's like I got videos to talk about within videos. So we've now seen Comey get real busy lately. First, he penned a curious op-ed in the New York Times, of course. Then a Times reporter, with whom Comey has cooperated in the past, wrote a news article exposing an early controversial investigative technique against the Trump campaign in an attempt, of course, to get out in front and execute it. Get in front of the story, so to speak. Next, Comey is scheduled to be encouraged on a friendly cable news town hall. In the op-ed, Comey trotted out his now familiar St. James shtick, freely pronouncing on the morality of others. He sees himself as a kind of pontiff of the Potomac, working his beads, but comes across more like an unraveling Captain Queeg working his ball bearings. Comey adjudged the president as amoral, he said. He declared the Attorney General to be formidable but lacking inner strength. Unlike the inference is clear, Comey himself. A strategy of insulting the executioner right before he swings his axe is an odd one, but then Comey has a long record of odd decisions and questionable judgment. Oh, you mean like throwing Martin Armstrong in jail? And then telling him, we'll let you just fight this in jail. We'll just let you keep fighting for 20 years. Or just admit to this little nonsense here. You've already done 8 years. That'll go as part of your crime. Your time served, and you'll be out in a year or two. Like he said, Martin Armstrong, what do you think I would say? There's a bit of a documentary, a little thing where Armstrong gave the whole story. It's very interesting. I don't know what it's called at the moment. I did see it, and it was on YouTube. I think I watched it right on YouTube, if I recall. I don't know if it was a paid thing. I don't think it was, but if it was, I must have paid because I watched it. And again, I was very interested in that. Now, the hunter has become the hunted. So, quote, immoral leaders, referring to the president, have a way of revealing the character of those around them, wrote Comey with a hint of irony or self-awareness. Those whom the former FBI director assembled around him probably rue the day they ever met the man. Most are now fired or disgraced for appalling behaviors that Comey found easy to manipulate to advance his decisions. Then, just to make sure his op-ed was odd-salted to the max, Comey mused that the president eats your soul in small bites. No, I think that's you guys with your child predatory behavior. I don't think that's President Trump, actually. He doesn't eat souls. That's you guys. Okay, let's step back for a moment. James Comey appears to be in trouble. His strange, desperate statements and behaviors betray his nervousness and apprehension. In a way, it's hard to watch. Comey will claim that everything he did in the FBI was by the book, but after the investigations by the Department of Justice Inspector General Michael Hurwitz and U.S. Attorney John Huber, along with Barr's promised examination, are completed, Comey's mishandling of the FBI in legal processes likely will be fully exposed. And again, are they going to say, oh, well, you opened this investigation into Clinton and you already found her not guilty before you even opened it? Are they going to find stuff on that? Hey, what did Q say? May 2019. We're in May now. Get ready for the offense. Get some popcorn. It's getting ready. Get ready for the offense. Ideally, Barr's examination will aggregate information that addresses three primary streams. The first will be whether the investigations into both presidential nominees and the Trump campaign were adequately, in Barr's words, predicated. This means he will examine whether there was sufficient justification under existing guidelines for the FBI to have started an investigation in the first place. The Mueller report's conclusions make this a fair question for the counterintelligence investigation of the Trump campaign. Comey's own pronouncement that the Clinton email case was unprosecutable makes it a fair question for that investigation. The second will be whether Comey's team obeyed long-established investigative guidelines while conducting the investigations, and specifically, if there was sufficient truthful justification to lawfully conduct electronic surveillance of an American citizen. And again, you know who. The third will be an examination of whether Comey was unduly influenced by political agendas emanating from the previous White House and its Director of National Intelligence, CIA Director, and Attorney General. This, above all, is what's causing the 360-degree head spins. There are early indicators that troubling behaviors may have occurred in all three scenarios. Barr will want to zero in on a particular area of concern: the use by the FBI of confidential human resources or sources, whether its own or those offered up by then CIA director. Oh, here's a guy. Yeah, we you talk to him. Oh, he's one of our guys. Yeah. Oh, yeah, but he's got some interesting stuff. Dossier. Exactly. Brennan, you're going to jail. Clapper, you're going to jail. Comey, you're going to jail. And boy, oh boy, would I love Mark Taylor's prophecy to come true. When two former presidents have passed on, three will be indicted. Papa Bush, get out of here. He's gone. Jimmy Carter, I keep saying it, Jimmy Carter, the guy's a walking skeleton. I mean, I love the guy, but walking skeleton. He's old. His time is coming. Like, soon, when you look at him, like, wow, I'm surprised he's still alive. That leaves Clinton, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Dodo Bird Bush Jr. Remember those letters they got at the funeral? What is Jeb Bush? Oh my God. To see something on a letter that causes you to react like that in your father's funeral, it must have been powerful. And Q had said, when asked what was in the letter, our response to the deep state. Oh, because there was like a counter response. Interesting. Without diving into the weeds, it is important to understand that FBI counterintelligence investigations generally proceed sequentially from what is called a preliminary investigation or inquiry, known as a PI, to a full investigation or FI. To move from a PI to an FI requires substantial information, predication, indicating investigative targets acted as agents of a foreign power. This is problematic for Comey in light of Mueller's findings. There are strict guidelines governing when the FBI can task a confidential source or a government undercover operative to collect against a U.S. citizen. Normally, this is restricted to a full investigation and normally restricted to the United States, not overseas. And again, it was the overseas stuff that we let them overseas. You can spy on American citizens and then give it back to our intelligence agencies. So our intelligence agencies will use the proxy to spy and then get the data right back to them. Still illegal. And they thought they could get away with it. Again, they never thought Hillary would lose. They never thought we'd ever have to look into this. There'll be no investigation. She'll win, and we're good to go. And then Trump came in. There is a sense that Comey's team was not checking the boxes, did not have adequate predication, and may have tasked sources before an investigation was even officially opened. Barr should pull case files and dig in on this. In addition, the case of characters leveraged by the FBI against the Trump campaign all appear to have their genesis as CIA sources or assets in the agency vernacular, shared at times with the FBI. From Stephen Halper to possibly Joseph Misford to Christopher Steele to Carter Page himself, and now a mysterious government investigator posing as Halper's assistant and cited in the New York Times article. Legitimate questions arise as to whether Comey was manipulated into furthering a CIA political operation more than an FBI counterintelligence case. Some in the media have suggested that the Times article was an attempt by the FBI to justify its early confidential source actions. But current FBI Director Christopher Wray has shown that he would like to excise the cancerous tumor that grew during Comey's time and not just keep smoking. It's hard to imagine current FBI executives trying to justify past malfeasance. James Comey is right to be apprehensive. He himself ate away at the soul of the FBI, not in small bites, but in dangerously large ones. It was a dinner for one, though. His actions are not indicative of the real FBI. The Attorney General's comprehensive examination is welcome, and if done honestly and dispassionately, it will protect future presidential candidates of both parties and redeem the valuable soul of the FBI. Again, Kevin Arbrock, former Assistant Director of Intelligence for the FBI, was an FBI Special Agent for 24 years and Principal Deputy Director of the National Counterterrorism Center. He is founder and principal of New Street Global Solutions, which consults with private companies and public safety agencies on strategic mission technologies. Posting for thehill.com. There's always good guys at every organization. It's when your superior is a effing criminal scumbag and you have to be told, nope, don't touch that guy. No, let him go. No, we're not looking at that case. We have this child, there's children. No. Children, nothing. We don't look at that. Dismissed. No. Drop the case. And if you don't drop the case, you're gone. What's the old saying Joe gives you? It's hard for a man to tell the truth when his job depends upon him not telling the truth. Right? I'd like to look into this child pedophile cases. Oh, what? Comey and friends, don't look at that? Okay. But guys, this is a real crime. Oh. I got demoted. I'm going to get fired. Hard to pursue the truth or tell the truth when your job depends upon you because of your superiors not telling the truth. All those jerk-offs are gone. They're all gone. Now what? I think Q's going to be right. Hey, we're in May. Was the merry, merry month of May. It was really, really neat. Because Comey's gonna kiss his feet in the merry, merry month of May. He's gonna kiss his feet, praying down so much. Oh my God, I'm in so much trouble. Throw the book at these criminals.